What competency would you like to focus on?
So out of everything that we did during the assessment, I feel like my area of growth for a specific competency would especially be strategic planning. This is just because I've always struggled with not necessarily having a vision or not necessarily setting goals, but I've always struggled with the planning and organization of everything. I always know what I want to do. I always know the steps I need to take, but I never have any way of measuring it or being specific about it. I just kind of always take steps personally that I think will be good for me to reach those goals.
Okay, and when you are able to achieve the goals you set out to, what's typically like the motivating factor that helps you achieve those goals versus the ones you're like struggling to achieve?
Okay, so a lot of the goals that I seem to always achieve is something that just personally motivates me and I want to see success in the future. So like for example, I've had a lot of barriers and things I've had to overcome in order to continue nursing school and continue to work towards my RN degree. With that being said, I feel like I work better towards things like that. I have goals in everyday life that I feel like I rarely accomplish due to my lack of planning and my lack of organization. So honestly, it depends on the motivation for me. I'm a very driven individual, so I feel like I do well in things like work and mostly in school and different things like that, but then when it's only affecting me, like maybe just going to the gym or making it to the grocery or something, I struggle with that because I'm the only one being held accountable instead of it affecting others.
Okay, so the areas in your life with a little bit less structure you'd like to focus on a bit more. Okay, what like recent goals in those areas have you had trouble with that you'd like to kind of work on today? Like any specific goals?
So one thing which I just brought up is definitely like working out. That is something I always struggle with, which, as you guys know, I've been sick for the last few weeks. So I always struggle with that. It's just like I've said, I think I really just lack a daily plan. It comes down to not necessarily planning out my days, not having really any source of organization when it comes to me personally. So like the goals I would like to achieve is just making like a daily plan more to reach those goals of working out, eating healthy, making sure I spend time to myself, working on self-help and self-growth, and then just spending time with people I love and care about.
So what system do you currently use in school and work life that works for you?
So a big help for me is Canvas. I hate to admit, I always buy a planner every year. I never write in it. But Canvas helps me. I organize everything by colors, and then I organize my class by colors. And that helps me. I organize my notes by colors, different things like that. I just want to be very successful in school. I'm here because, as we all are, we're paying for it or will pay for it. So that helps me, just having that schedule on Canvas, because it's not me creating the schedule necessarily to where I can mess up. It's the professors creating the schedule. So I have confidence in their ability to do that, since that is their job and they know specifically what they want from us. So I really feel like for me, the thing that would be most helpful is creating something like that in my daily life. It's just setting aside the time to do that. Most days when I'm at work, I'm there. It's like 10 or 12-hour days, which is not bad because I love my job. By the time I get home, I just want to eat and rest and spend time with my cat. So I don't know, it's a struggle when it comes to that, and I need to create something like that in my daily life, even if it takes an hour out of the week to create that, just like maybe plan my meals for the week or something like that. I think that would be helpful.
Do you think like maybe at the beginning of the week, like a Sunday or Monday, kind of as if you are like the teacher creating like a goal for like the week or maybe for a couple weeks would be beneficial, and you could even like color code it with the areas you mentioned, like gym, family, friends, social life, sort of things?
Yeah, with like all the access we have to media, TikTok, I see that all the time. I see like Sunday resets. I've always wanted to do that, but Sundays are like my only day off. So those are the days I enjoy, like sleeping in, getting to see my family, which I love those things, but I have to start prioritizing myself. Like if I don't get 2 extra hours of sleep, I'm gonna have to live with that. You can really rest any other time, but I think that would be helpful. There's a lot of, like, with all the technology and different things, there's so many things, like, I could do on my iPad or my phone and color coordinate it for the week, like, starting on a Sunday or Monday, like you said. Just kind of help me plan out what days I'm working, what time I would have for, like, the gym, or working out, or, like, just taking a walk. I could also set aside times to, like, meal prep or cook. And then that kind of gives me a space throughout those weeks too to set aside, like, leisure time or time to spend with my friends and family, because I really struggle with when people reach out to me. I don't want to tell them no, because I don't want to seem like a bad friend or like I have a bad relationship with them, but I do need to work more towards prioritizing myself. So I feel like if I set those times aside, it would be better for me and myself, like, all of my growth in the area of planning and organization. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's good you mentioned, like, the apps, because those specifically don't take, like, a full hour to set up, and once you have 1 week, you'll have the next week ready. For this goal, what would you like to see as far as, like, a timeline? When would you like to see progress on this goal, and how would you like to see this goal in action?
So for me, I will be taking a 7 weeks summer course, starting, I believe it's like May 23rd. I could be totally wrong, but I think that's the day. And that's just a 7 weeks course, and then I'll be graduating with my associates. So I would like to kind of start working on this after that 7 weeks class is up. I feel like I could work on it during that 7 weeks just to kind of see what it's like while I'm in class and while I'm working, because it's only one class. And I could start working towards that, and then once I am fully off for the summer, I could really work towards creating a plan, because I would have more time without any more, like, school obligations for the summer. I could create specific plans for the day, including work and all the things I want to do or enjoy. But I want to accomplish this hopefully by August. As I've talked about with you before, I will be going back to school just for 2 more semesters to get my RN degree, and it is very important to have strategic planning and being able to do it at the best of your ability when you're in nursing school. I previously completed a semester of nursing school, and you have to have a daily plan. You can't slack off, or anything like that. You can't lack organization or planning, and that was a big problem for me. Because while I was a great student and I struggled all the time, I never really had a plan, and I never really had any organization to it. So I would spend 12 hours studying the same thing, when if I would have created a plan for the week, I could have maybe spent 3 hours studying on it and moved to the next thing. So I think that was a big problem for me when I was in nursing school. So this is just like a goal I'm wanting to set for myself, to create a daily plan to help me in my higher education. And I want to hopefully complete this by August. I'd like to kind of check in with myself every Sunday to Monday, make sure I'm doing it, maybe even set an alarm, set a note, or maybe reward myself with something just for doing it, like going to get coffee or something like that. But I want to make sure that it's attainable for me, because I don't want to overwhelm myself, but I also want to make sure I have a specific timeline with it. So.
Yeah. Since you're trying to balance that social life versus, like, school life, that 7 week course will probably be a good timeline to, like, maybe practice this. I would say, like you said, check in every Sunday, Monday, maybe, like, have a big check-in point halfway through the 7 week course, since there's a pretty specific middle point in those courses.
No, I agree.
Maybe have a goal of, like, 3 areas that you've improved on. Like, say you mentioned gym, maybe you've managed your social time better, and then, did you mention meal planning or something like that? So maybe you could, like, by that point, have those 3 kind of planned out a bit better, and feel like how you, if you want to add another one in the next 3 weeks of the 7 week course, and by the end of the 7 week course, maybe you'll have a better, well-rounded schedule and prepare you better for August when you're starting up the other classes.
No, I agree. I was going to say, I want to make sure this is something I complete before August because it will definitely help me in my academic career and then help me manage those things that better myself, better my health, and just overall improve my growth as an individual.
Okay, so it sounds like we have a good goal planned.
Mm-hmm.
Great.